Well, hello everybody. Look who I have. JUNOSPHERE is here. Oh, that rhymes. Been a strange energy day energetically. Um, but Juno's has a different background. She's We're gonna talk about empowering words. For some reason I can't say the word empowering, but Juno's got it. But I wanted to touch on yesterday real quick that release that we had with the news coming in. I think we all, I don't know about all of you, I'd like to hear about it though. There was a brilliance, there was like electricity running through the air, and
Mhm.
the energy just flipped so high up. Um, and I really couldn't like calm myself. And I woke up and I thought I felt good. Then something else flipped my energy a different way. And I spent
Mhm.
most of the day, which I mean, not saying that it doesn't happen, but it was intense. My whole body was shaking. And how are
Yeah.
you all feeling? How are you feeling? I know Juno says that she had an interesting release point, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't go into the details. I'll just say it involves crystals and it involves something that I did 3 years ago, and it came full circle, and the validations just came in hot and heavy, and it has to do with Lemuria. And I won't bore you guys with all the details, but this all happened within even 12 hours. It
Yeah.
started on Wednesday, and that whole event and the validations
Mhm.
ended just before the verdict came in yesterday. And that was a whole
Mhm.
nother level of release. So I was just like, man, I mean, I couldn't even take in any of the news. It was just, it was
Oh,
like the energy, it's like ripping off the Band-Aid and you got this new skin, like
yeah.
it's just really, you don't feel bad. You're just like so sensitive. Every little nerve is feeling it, and you're happy.
Exactly.
But then it's when you felt so stressed for so long and all of a sudden the pressure's off, and you can breathe again. It's like, wow, where do I put all this oxygen?
Yeah,
How do I handle this? So
it's a perfect way to describe it. Thank you, because that's exactly how I felt. It was just electricity shooting through me, like when you see those sci-fi movies and the thing is just vibing electricity
yeah,
out of a Tesla
yeah,
coil or something. That's how I felt too. And well, here, let's say hi to everybody.
yeah.
It is hi, Randy, Bora. Um, so nice to see you all. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with us. Butterfly Kisses, it's good to see you. Hi, Annie Bear. Um, Joyful Journey, good to see you. Judy, huh? Judy, again, don't
Hi,
want to
Jude.
not say your last name right, but I know
Judy
you are.
Belleville. Belleville.
Bella. I
Yeah.
love that. I love how her name. I didn't want to say it wrong. Thank you, Juno.
Hmm.
And we have Sherry, Voices from the Swamp. Nice to see you. Tina Mitzi, Mac. I'm never really sure how to say that either. Forgive me. Priscilla, hi. Priscilla's here. Oh, it's so nice to see everybody. Teresa Levine, nice to see you. Teresa Ford, nice to see you. Leah, how are you? Oh my goodness, everybody's coming in. I love it. I love it. And my energy just since I've been here for this few minutes has gone really nice and smooth. It's not
See?
all jaggedy like it was.
Yeah. And that's what I find is when I'm really feeling out of sorts. And sometimes when I get that way, then I feel like, either I don't want to talk to anybody because I don't want to spread it around, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or I just feel like they don't want to hear it or they don't need it or something like that. But, a lot of times when we break out of that and we reach out to somebody, it shifts us right away and it helps us to get out of that. So,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think we're going to be going through a lot of this. I think yesterday was shocking to me. I didn't think it would turn out
Right.
to the full extent. I don't want to get into it, but just the full
Mhm.
extent that it did.
I know.
So it's like, wow, look what we did with our positive. Don't downplay the positive effect that you've had with your anything you've been able to do to stay positive and send good energy and keep the faith.
Mm,
Believe that has
mm,
power and do more of it because we're not done yet. But boy, you look at how powerful this was. I mean, I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of shocked people on both sides, all around the
Yes.
world, actually.
Feels like a timeline jump too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It just feels like we jumped.
You know what
And
they just showed me? They just showed me we just took out the garbage. They just showed me like like they just okay, done with that. You know,
done with that.
that was
We're just
funny. I guess I'll throw it on the train next time the train comes by. I'll put it on
that's
there.
what
Like my bag of doo doo.
does everyone know about the train? I was just getting ready to say that to her. The train runs by every so often throughout the day. And
80 times a day, literally. It goes by 80 times a day and night.
80.
Yeah.
What? Wow. So we got to the point we were joking about it, and we were like, "Send the love train, send the trash out to the love train."
Well, before it was the love train, when the train would go by, this was a couple of years ago, I would throw a bag of whatever I wanted to get rid of. I would just mentally, the train went by and went, okay, I'm throwing a bag of that, and I won't, and you know, if I throw that bag of stuff on there, the train's taking it away and I can't think about it again. I have to let it go.
Right.
And then one day it went, okay, it's done being the garbage train. Now it's the love train.
Yeah.
So whenever it comes by, helps me to think more positively about it at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
I love you, train.
But isn't that the truth, though? A change in perception, no matter how slight it is, I mean, pulls us right out. And I was doing all that today, and I could not get. Well, I talked to Juno about it.
Sometimes we can't do it ourselves. Sometimes we need somebody else's energy to click in with ours. And then, as much as we have been working together for so many years now, it doesn't take us so long for that click in to feel good. You know, it's almost immediate. And the more we do this, the quicker it is.
It usually is, yeah. And that's what I was kind of like. I was starting to get worried, and I'm still not sure. I feel like it because this happens to me when X-class solar flares go off that are Earth directed. My body just is buzzing like that. I mean, it was more than a buzz. It was literally like I can't think of the word right now, but I haven't found proof of an X-class solar flare yet today. But if that is the case, because I was really concerned. It took me off guard. Let's say hi to Chris MK, Leah. I said Leah, hi guys. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Kristen J, nice to meet you. Jessica Lynn, nice to meet you. Aww.
Yeah, Chris MK is my friend Sylvia. She lives in Tucson. We've met personally, and she's a really wonderful lady. I really appreciate her a whole lot.
Oh, that's so cool. Ellen R, nice to see you. And let's see, Ruma's at the bottom here. Guys, I'm not good with this chat thing. There we go. It was really, really nice to have all of you here. Love your energy. It does make us feel, when we're together, it calms us down, but we're so strong.
Yeah.
Because we're together.
Whatever. And we get stronger every time we get together. You know, it's cumulative. We don't have to go back to square one every time now. You know, there's a core group of us. You know, we kind of float through the different chats, and we kind of, you know, expand and contract our numbers. But you know, people go in different, but they come back. You know, it's just amazing the connection that's still there. It might be even a year later, and you still feel that connection with someone that you maybe had fallen out of touch with for some reason. But it's really incredible.
It is, and it's just interesting how energy works like that. Hi, Fatima. Nice to see you. I'm sorry if my internet's wonky. I don't know what this time of day. Sometimes it's okay, but it's showing me low bars. And I apologize about that. Leah says she lived by a track for 9 years and knew the schedule. And then at 1 a.m. one day, there was an earthquake, and that's the same train time. I know, my gosh.
That's a different kind of train. Wow.
Yeah, that's freaky. You guys on the West Coast, I give it to you. In the Midwest, oh, the tornadoes! Oh my God, we got hit by a tornado the other day. Well, it was a warning. I don't know if it actually hit, but it blew my door open while I was asleep. Wow. My cat got out. Yeah. Wow. So it's just strangeness, high strangeness. That's what I call it. It's constantly.
What do we expect? You know, hang on, everybody. Every day's a carnival ride, and if you go into it knowing that, you're going to be able to handle it a little better than if you think it should be a certain way and it isn't, and then you get frustrated or upset or
Absolutely.
not that we don't have those moments, believe me. But I'm good. My shower is where I let it. I go in there sometimes and I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just screaming just to let it off, just to dispel that intensity of feeling. And then I feel a lot better. It goes down the drain. I didn't yell at anybody. I didn't hurt anybody's feelings. I might have scared the dogs a little, but they're not in the room with me. So one of them's going deaf, so it's not as big of a deal, but and another thing, I went back to you were talking about language, and the one phrase that came to me this week that I've been working on, instead of saying this or someone makes me happy, this makes me happy, or you make me happy. That's a command. There's a control issue there, and maybe work around saying this brings me joy, and look at how much more empowering that is to say this brings me joy than this makes me happy. Nobody makes you anything. You make yourself. So, this is not a grammar lesson. It's not criticizing anyone for saying it. This is just something came up to me this week when I was writing something, and I thought, is there a better way I can say that? Because that just stuck with me, and my pen didn't want to write. It makes me, or my fingers on the keyboard. And so it's really good, and it's helping us to expand our brains into thinking more joyful and more positive ways. It's not like I said, it's not like going to school and thinking about it as being a grammar thing. Think about how you can change those words and make them, so that they're more empowering to you.
Absolutely. And that's, that is the guidance. We do get that guidance. Reframe that, rephrase that. Just let me say hi to Denise McMillan. Leah said she was in Illinois when the earthquake went off, which is interesting. Wow. Hi, Richie's Reach. And I thought I saw someone else pop in. So nice to see everybody. But the words, there's just small little adjustments.
Yeah, little incremental things.
Yeah,
and that's another thing. If you're focusing on that and you're thinking about how to make those, the words you're using be more powerful for you, that's less time you're stressing on something that's going on in the world, your world personally, or the world. Find ways to distract yourself in a positive, uplifting way, that not only just that you're passing time in a pleasant way, but that you're growing a little bit. Spend 10 minutes a day even thinking about it. Doesn't have to be an all-day thing, but take a few minutes out and say, okay, Spirit, what words can you show me, or phrases that I'm using that maybe aren't serving me in my best and highest good? How can I do this better?
Absolutely. They went through the want, never, all that list with me. So I really try my hardest to use the words prefer, desire, wish.
I choose to have is the one I was taught.
I like that.
That's really empowering. You're in control. I choose to have that.
Right. Wow. I love it. And let me think what else.
Because you're still leaving a choice up to somebody else. I prefer, but you're saying, well, if I prefer this, if someone asks you, a lot of times I feel like it's a real polite way to say, I prefer this, but I don't really want to say, I really want that chocolate over there. I don't want that lemon thing, but you don't want to offend them. I would prefer that, but the other's lovely. Well, sometimes, own it. This is what I choose to have. I want that chocolate, dang it, and I want a lot of it.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna be shy when it comes to stuff like that. And that's usually when I'm speaking to my team. Right? Yeah. There's a certain way to engage with your team that really brings in results.
Yes.
And it is by using the correct words.
And being specific, being, really looking at what are you asking? And they do fill in the gaps in between, but they're doing this heavy lifting for us and really bringing us these wonderful gifts and opportunities all the time. The least we can do is take a little of our mental time and be specific and really think about what it is that I do want. Don't expect them to know what you want.
Exactly.
We have free will for a reason. They're there to be supportive. And so you're actually, people might think, well, I'm not worthy of telling them what I really want, or, you know, how bad I want it or something like
Right.
that. But it's the other way around. You're showing that this matters to me. I really want this. I've thought about this. This is what I choose to have.
Yeah, and
You know,
they do preferred details. They
yeah,
preferred as many details as we can get. It wasn't always like that because we were learning, right? We were
right,
learning
exactly,
how to engage
exactly.
with them. And now that we are slowly getting better, I'm just going to say this about
We're
myself.
all learning. Yeah.
Let me say hi, Gwen Curry. Hi, Val Bowen. And Jane the Seeker. Nice to see you.
Hey, Jane.
Silver Star Priestess, nice to see you. I like what Priscilla wrote too. I choose. Yeah,
Yeah.
because when we're speaking to the divine, the air all around us, and what a better day. And I'm bringing it up one more time because it's so important. You have Uranus and Mercury conjunct.
Mm-hmm.
That's the lower and higher octave of the same type of energy, communications of all
Mm-hmm.
kinds, and it's with Uranus, it's a frequency communication. So, you know, at a higher vibrating um, resonance, I guess I want to say, it speaking the oh goodness, I'm sorry, I'm getting lost in my thoughts here. It's more surprising, is what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Uranus brings in shocks, surprises, unique things outside the box. So, I mean, in a flash, you'll get
Mm-hmm.
this brilliant idea. Seriously, write it down. Write it down.
Yeah.
And hi, Laurie Hunsinger. And, talk to your team and really engage with them. Like I named my team. It made it easier for me. They don't need a name, but it made it easier for me to relax into, oh, I can't ask for that. Oh no, you know how
Right.
shy you are at first.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and they would encourage me, and they'd say, please be more specific.
Mm-hmm.
Which which color or which one, or so
Right.
I love when
It's
they
like
do
it's like with Amazon. You don't go to Amazon and say, "Well, I would prefer this," and then you wait and see what they send you, and you hope that they read your mind and sent you what you wanted.
that.
You choose to have, because you spend time shopping for it, and you put your credit card in there and all that stuff. You
Right,
chose that specifically, and I'm not knocking it. Like I said, these are just ways of fine tuning the
right.
the our language, and they want us to ask. This is proof. What
Yeah,
happened yesterday is proof to us of a
yes,
lot of things, that they are listening. They do have our back.
yes.
It's not, they're not saying, okay, it's all good, don't worry, everything's great, because we're still going to go through stuff. But
Yeah.
this was like the biggest sign I think a lot of us have needed. I know my
I,
sphincter relaxed, and
I,
oh, yeah, I didn't even realize how much I
I
was
know.
thinking,
I know it. It was so tense, and you don't realize how tense the energy is 24/7, every second, every moment. When that happened, I was just like, oh my goodness. We were at the tail end of practice, and we all kind of just, our energy levels just shot up. It was really, and then I'd come right to a show. So I didn't really have time to like sit with it and digest
yeah,
what was going
digest
on.
and process it.
Yeah. And
And
Diana,
I was making, I didn't feel well enough to, because you and I are usually in practice together, and my allergies were bothering me. I thought nobody needs to see Kleenex, for a practice. So I bowed out. But instead, I was making one of my mindless videos. And at the time the news came in, I was making a mindless video about hot air balloons. And I thought, what a perfect, it was just the perfect thing. And one of the
they,
hot air balloons has a great big smiley face on it, and I was just visualizing, like when I make these videos, it's about lifting the energy and sending up that good, happy
ab-
stuff. And that just blew me away. There's just like a little window of time when I was working on that video, and it was right when that verdict came in. That was trippy, because normally I
wow.
would have been in practice. So,
Yeah, and we were into something real deep too, and it was
mhm.
just interesting how it all just went poof and blue. And
Yeah.
I mean, so we come over here with Diana. Diana's just coming from a show, and she didn't
Hmm.
really have time to digest it. But it, I mean, the relief. That's about the only word I could get out of her yesterday
Yeah.
was, I feel
Yeah,
so relieved.
exhale. Everybody
Yeah.
could like really exhale, you
Right.
know, and that's when the toxins come out, is when you really
Yeah.
exhale. They say,
Oh,
I know people say you're what you eat, but you also are what you don't excrete. And one of the biggest ways you excrete things is through exhaling fully. So exhale longer than the inhale.
I meant to do that when we started today. 3 deep breaths. Sorry. I've
Okay.
not been on the game, but
You want to do it now?
sure. Let's do
I'll
it.
hold up my Labradorite while you're doing it.
Okay. So we're taking the first breath and then release extra for the out breath. I'm having a hard time with words. It looks beautiful, Juno, with the background. My goodness, it's beautiful. Labradorite.
When Labradorite harmonizes all the chakras, so
Yeah.
that maybe will help you guys too out there. You know, you don't have to
Nice.
have it personally. You can look at it. You can take that energy and visually. You don't have to be holding the crystal yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. And that's what I love about us getting together, because we all bring a piece of our own energy, and whatever that is adds to the pot. Like I see it as a pot of gold. I don't know. It looks really cool. I keep seeing rainbows everywhere. They just keep coming in. Jane had her guides. They don't have a name. They're just my team. Aw, they throw them around me
oh,
like balloons. That's what
I
mine
love
does.
that. Yeah, and you
Uh-huh.
know what? It's just as everybody's different, and it's a personal relationship, and you might have some guides or angels or whatever that do come with names and some that don't. And it really, you know, it's whatever works for you. And that's what
Yeah.
they want too. They're not hung up because they're not feeling like, well, I can't help her. She doesn't know my name. They don't work like that.
No, that's not it at all. Yeah, no, it was for me. I was that one. The human was having the hardest time connecting, believing in what I was hearing and seeing and all that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
now
but
that
you know what it is? It's the validations. That's when you start building your confidence, and you start realizing this isn't just a series of coincidences or synchronicities. There's something else going on here, because you'll get specific information that there's no other reason for that to come forward when it does. So it just, and then it builds and builds, you know, and you learn to trust that communication, that they are really there for you. That's how it worked for me anyway.
yeah, and now it's kind of easier. I always ask for my next best step,
Hmm.
but I'm always talking to them, always hearing them, always engaged with them. It's
Hmm.
really cool. Teresa Ford, right? Plant the seed of what you want to grow. I heard this astrologer who I learned from. He has a app, a website that I receive information every day, and he teaches, and all this is really cool. And he said, your heart is the only thing that can make a wish. So
Oh,
when you're planting your seeds, right,
yeah.
make that wish, make that important. Um, Feel it in your heart. Also, is exactly what else I'm trying to say. When your heart smiles and when you're really excited, you
Hmm.
want to feel that about your intentions, your goals, your preferences, whatever
Hmm.
it is, however you want to say it. Um,
Your
oh,
choices, and the other thing is, remember
huh?
that seeds need darkness to germinate.
Yes.
So if you plant the seeds and you're feeling like, well, nothing's happening, and it's, I don't see any results, and all gloom and doom, remember that, if it's dark, well, maybe it's a time to plant some seeds, so that when the sun does, when the circumstances are right, it will come to fruition. And embrace
Oh,
that part of it.
yeah.
Mhm.
The stones, and this is something that Gina's gonna get into on her channel, getting into the stones and what properties they do help us with. Um, it's really
And
I
I'm going to
can't.
help you identify the things in your own stones that you have at home. I
Yeah.
want to do a real in-depth, so we can, there's so much to look at. And,
Uh,
sometimes you look at them from a distance, or they're sparkly or whatever, but if you can get lost. you know, just looking into a crystal and turning it and finding things that, and they'll change over time, some of them. So another thing I wanted, you know, what we were just talking about, this brought to mind my Herkimer. I don't know, some of you might have seen this. Herkimer diamonds are, they come out of the ground shining like a diamond. They're not a diamond, they're quartz, but they're especially hard quartz. But a lot of quartz, the majority of it has to be cleaned in a certain way to make it that shiny. Herkimers come right out. Yeah, they come out of the ground real shiny. So this is a Herkimer in matrix. You see that? How it's just in this gray rock and it's in that bubble, and that bubble there was filled with mud. So that's how, you know, so you might feel like, oh, things are really dark or my life really sucks or whatever. And look at that. You can be that Herkimer diamond just shining right through there, you know. And another thing about the fact that it grows in mud, that's how it can be. Any double terminated is grown in mud because that lets it grow in both directions. That's what makes it a double terminated. So I just love that that's nestled away in there.
I love that, that specific information, because they are the only ones that are double terminated like that.
Yeah, I was told that read somewhere. I have at least 200 books on crystals that I've been going through, but that the Herkimers, they say, is what seeded quartz on the planet, was what I had read. So and my ancestors settled Herkimer County, New York, so it just was like, well, that's really cool.
Oh my God! And look what I got you, uncovering treasure.
Oh, look at that. Oh, and speaking of that, I was just reaching for it. Do you remember when we've been together, I've been trying to find my great big Herkimer of mine, and I couldn't find it. And I just found it right before the show. I uncovered the treasure. So
I was just going to ask you. Okay.
I found it.
It's so beautiful. And they're not normally that big, guys. No. They're usually about this size.
Yeah. When you find them. But you know, the little ones are very powerful. But yeah, this is a really unusual one, and then it's been set in sterling with the veil. Yeah, so that's interesting that you pulled that card, because I literally did that right before the show started.
So the card says, "Beneath the surface lies great bounty," and yes, we're all coming into who it is that we're creating, right? We're creating a new earth by creating our new selves and our new lives. And that's all based on our wishes. So I'm just so excited to see what we create.
And if you're having a spell or a day or a moment where you know you're not feeling the greatest, don't beat yourself up over that. It's okay. We all have that. Just rest and know that, you know, when you wake up or take a shower, if you're somewhere where you're walking and it's like nothing's going right, stop in place, receive 3 inhales and exhales, and then step forward with your left foot first. This will help break that cycle, that pattern. You know, just there's a lot of things. You swing your arms, you know, this way, you know, like walk in your gut. You're crossing your body with your arms. This is really good. Help get that energy moving and shifting, because we're going to be going through a lot of moving and shifting into higher gears and yeah.
Yeah, because this is a timeline jump, right? And as we raise in frequency, it takes a minute for us to stabilize in it. That's why sometimes we just got to lay down, or we want to eat and really
drink a lot of water, or another way that Spirit showed me a little while ago about how when we're going through these, you know, ascensions or level up or whatever you want to call it, when these things happen, it's like, you know, the locks where you go, like the Panama Canal, where the ships go through the different locks, right? So they enter the lock and the water's at one level. So it's like, okay, we get to that level, and then we have to wait until we stabilize and we get used to that new energy. So that's like as the water fills up the lock and brings that ship to go into the next level, right? So allow yourself time. You know, if you shift those gears too fast, you're going to strip the gears. You know, it's not going to be good for you. You know, people think, oh, I want to know, like in that Crystal Skull movie. The king, she stood there with all the skulls. I always think of that. I want to know, and then it blew her up. You know, so you don't want to know it all. You don't want it to go too fast. And you know what? Savor it while it's happening. This has never happened before, what we're all going through. Enjoy it. Even the bumps, you know, because the bumps let you know when that's smooth, that you can enjoy the smooth a little bit more.
Yeah. Grateful for every moment, because every moment brought us to this specific moment.
Exactly.
And really, we're only alive if we're in the moment. So that's another important point. If I was getting pulled, into fear earlier this morning,
Mhm.
and I had keep pulling myself back, keep pulling myself back to center, back to,
Yeah.
where am I now? And you kind of tell yourself your age, your name, or who came in. Gypsy JJ, how are you? Haven't seen you. I said hi to Chris MK. And
And something
Heavenly
else that I do is if I do something like, and it might be something as simple as taking out the garbage, but it might be something that took a little more effort than that. You know what? I verbally out loud say, "Good job." Pat myself on the back. You've done good, girl. Good. Even if I screwed it up, I make myself laugh at it. It's like, oh,
oh,
I'm so silly.
yeah.
Instead of cursing myself out and I'm old and I'm frail and I'm that. It's like, no.
Mhm.
I did my best. I did my best. I'll try it again in a minute or whatever. And it really can shift. It doesn't take all the pain away. It doesn't take, but it sure softens the edges, I find.
I like that. Because when you encourage yourself, I mean, I used
Mhm.
to be extremely hard on myself, but now I do that. It's okay. It's silly.
Yeah,
Everybody makes mistakes. You're no different.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And take it like that. It has been, well, as we all know here, it's been a long road learning all the stuff. How to keep going but not being so. I was more slave driverish to myself, like get just but I didn't even think of it like that
Right.
until you know
Because you didn't know any different.
yeah,
That's
I
how, we're programmed through whatever our upbringing we have and how society treats us. And, we think that everything has to be a certain way. And then we find out. And I was just reading what Randy said about being tired. And
hmm
it's like, okay, I understand because I have that same thing, but embrace it. Let it just allow that, allow yourself to be tired, allow yourself to rest and say, this is part of the process and don't have resistance to it. And then you'll, again, knock the edges off, maybe some of that fatigue, and maybe it'll be a little easier for you to cope with.
it's so important to rest. There's a
Mhm.
reason for it. We do a lot of work while we're sleeping on the
Yeah, we
higher
do.
levels too, and we're doing things we're not really aware of here now. um did Did you want to read on Heavenly Blessed Honey's question? Do you
What's the
see
question?
do
Jesus.
you see me having a show or something else? Could you narrow it down what something else is? Maybe I should have read the question a little better. Interesting. The first card I got for you, Heavenly Blessed Honey, was protected by angels.
Mm.
Um, you are cherished by the angels. Let me see what it says in here because they're saying that it is significant in the card what it is that they want you to know. Do you want to have a channel, Heavenly Blessed Honey? You kind of, it takes a little while and you learn how to do it and then it becomes second nature. It's a lot of fun, but it is a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a responsibility, and you can do it at your own pace. It took me 2 years to get to the place where I'm
Mhm.
at, and I work at it, a lot, almost every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours, well, many hours a day. But you don't have to do it that way. Everybody can, everybody has their own way. I would say, if you can, if you have the resources to do it, I would give it a try because
Yeah.
um, everybody's got their own message to share and they're going to resonate. Different people resonate with different readers. And you have, I love your name, Heavenly Blessed Honey. I think that's just so
hmm
cool. Uh,
hmm
and it's not like, if you don't like it, it's not like there's any, you just stop doing it. There's no penalty, there's no punishment. It's a free thing to do other than having internet and things like that. So, uh,
hmm
but
This is. I'm sorry.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Just interesting what's in the description of Protected by Angels card. It says you are blessed. Immense blessings from above are showering over your life. The angelic realm is only a thought away. Angelic intervention is available to you at all times. Simply be open and you will feel their presence. This is the time to spread your wings and soar. You are so protected and so safe. And then it says, sometimes it might seem that you can't see the road ahead, but have faith that by your side are shimmering angels supporting and guiding you in unseen ways. I'm sorry, I need to, they're asking her to hear all this.
Yeah, go ahead. It's good information.
Thank you. Watch for their signs, especially in the form of feathers. There is a sacred plan for your life. Your life is guided. The angelic message is that you are going in the right direction and everything is unfolding exactly as it should be. When you receive this card, it can only mean that you are an angelic healing force for others because the light within you is so bright.
Yeah. So I would say yes.
Yes.
or find some other outlet for sharing what you do, because you will heal and you will help others heal it through the process. It isn't, it's a joint thing that we do together. And I pulled from the Whispers of Lord Ganesha deck.
Oh, nice.
I pulled 3 cards, really interesting. The first one is innocence. So that's like, you're wondering, that you're new at this and, wondering, wanting to know what to do. The next card, divine support, goes right along with Val's cards. You have divine support. So however you choose to do it, you will have that support. And then the next, if you didn't trust that, then you even have the guidance card.
Ah.
So tune into your guidance. And that's another thing about this community. When we're all helping each other, those of us have come before and have learned how to do certain tricks, we help each other and encourage each other. So if you don't have a group yet that you can practice with or commiserate with, form one. There's a lot of people out there looking to be in a group, so that's another way that you could do that as a preliminary way to having your own channel. Could be part. It can all work together. The world is your oyster.
It really is. And when, so I feel tired, like I must rest at times. We have to.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the beast of what we're going through. Sometimes I have to take 3 naps a day, and they might not be long naps, but I have to lay down, I have to rest my eyes. I have to let my body rest. And instead of beating myself up or and go, why can't I do this like everybody else? I say, this is what I can handle, and then pace myself. It's another big important thing. If you're going to do a channel, or if you're just doing life, your own life, pace yourself. Don't double book yourself and then wonder why you're always so tired. Don't before you go to bed at night, don't be watching the news or taking in anything heavy. Have a little relaxation time. Do something. I just discovered this channel where I like watching the mudlarks over in England, where they go along the Thames and they find little things. Well, these 2 ladies, they go to a lot of Victorian dumps, that have, of course, it's all just the garbage part's gone, right? And they find all these little kids' toys and stuff, and so they make these miniature houses and things that and it's just something pleasant to watch. It's just really nice. They're being creative. They have soft voices. They're out in nature, whatever, and they're just doing creative, fun things. Find something that's of your interest. Find ways, instead of just saying I'm tired all the time, why am I tired, and fight the tired. Find ways to allow your spirit to have a little more quiet time. And then you'll be able to handle the fatigue a little better, I think. At least that's how it works for me.
Me too.
Oh, hey, Sharon, what's for dinner?
Actually, I know that's what I was just getting ready to ask. I'm glad you asked. I'm hungry. Hi, Pure Visionary Psychic Medium Terry. How are you? See, let me see what
yeah.
Okay, I just saw that
we
one.
do have to rest. It's important. Val and I rest a lot. You see us. I mean, it took me all morning to pull everything together to do an hour here. No, I mean, you know, and I love it. I do this because I love to, but it's an effort, and it takes a lot to put all this spackle on and all the Vaseline on the lens and everything. It just takes a while. So,
Owl feathers have been showing up for you,
yeah,
Denise. That's so
nice.
cool. That is
All
so nice.
feathers are very special.
Yeah, they are. And anybody who wants a reading, please just put your name in. And I know I had one. I was looking for Ellen R. Here you are. Hold on. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I can't really see the chat, you guys, so I apologize for not responding. I'll go back and watch it later. I'll read it later.
Ellen R. asks if you have time. Is moving to a in my best interest? Is moving in her best interest? Is what I'm feeling. Let me know if that's correct,
Moving in
Ellen, unless you wanted it to say something else. I feel like it's not time to rush, is what I'm feeling. Unless it's something imminent and you got to go.
Is a certain place, or is it just a typo? Is she asking for a certain?
I'm not
it's
sure.
the initial of the city. Okay. You don't
it
want
is?
Okay. Yeah, she just said it's
in.
in.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm moving to A. My goodness.
Every now and then I can see the.
Your best interest. Oh, isn't that interesting? Unknown territory. You are exactly where you need to be.
Interesting.
And they want me to read this one. Empaths. Reflect and redirect your energy. That's what I'm getting for you. I feel it's not quite time yet. Let's see what everybody else says in here. I'm sorry. I'm going to read down here. Everybody I didn't get to. Rest is a good thing to decompress. Absolutely.
Our bodies need it. You know, it's honor your body first and foremost, because you're not helping anybody, least of all yourself. If you push too hard, you overbook. You take on stress that's not yours.
And Jane the Seeker's been sleeping a lot, like a ton. Yep.
Yeah.
I love this, Leah, thinking of a bonsai business.
Ooh,
that is cool. Really cool.
That's so zen. You know what I mean? That'd be a very joyful thing to do.
Empanadas. Oh, isn't that a nice town? Let's see.
Isn't empanadas a food? I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was a town in California, and I know it's food too, but I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I said it. And then Heavenly Blessed Honey said, okay, I have a lot to learn. Yes, everyone is very supportive, but right now working on my place too. Replace my granddaughter's pictures with new ones next to my guy's picture that passed.
Yeah.
Said, love you. Then let me see if I get this second part of that. Hold on. Then my TV came on, so he heard me. Yes.
Wow.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah.
Interesting that it was the TV that came on.
Yeah.
You can be here. This could be you. Yeah. Take your time when the time's right. I think you'll do fine.
Oh, that's nice, Leah. Baby pine moss everywhere.
Nice.
We have a cute white-tailed squirrel. Aw.
Squirrel.
Squirrel, that's me. I'm making blackened fish, heating up mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are my absolute favorite.
Are they?
I mean, I crave them. I don't understand it. Randy needs to make watermelon juice. Now that sounds
I love watermelon. Yummy, yummy. So refreshing.
Leah, am I looking at a bad or good breakup? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you read for Ellen?
No, we didn't. No, not yet.
Sorry, go ahead.
I got the cards ready. That's okay. Okay. So it's Ellen's question back up there again of that she was talking about moving. So the first card that came up was Archangel Michael. So, this is he's there for you to look for guidance on this. Um, I know he's big on protecting property because he's very huge at my property. So this is also telling me that, you know, wherever you decide to go, he's going to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
And he will help you with the divine timing. He helped me find the place that I'm in now, and I have the best location in the entire park. And I had the choice of 3 places when I got here, not just one. And it was the first place I had, you know, the first location I had looked at. So, you know, I can just speak from my own experience. He's been really, really helpful to me as far as coming through and helping me line up with a place to live. And then the next one I got was the Queen of Scrolls. This is the Akashic Tarot, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So the Queen of Scrolls, I don't know if you can see there, she's got obviously scrolls, which makes me think of maps, you know, and also is like study, you know, do your homework, do your research before you jump into anything. Um, but, you know, I don't want to read the whole thing, but I think that gives you, I think that going together with what Val said about, you know, take your time, it's not right yet, but if it's worth it to wait. If you're asking for divine guidance, it's worth it to wait and have them help you than try to push through and do it on your own and get into a situation that maybe isn't the best for you.
Oh.
You'll know when it's the right time. You'll know
Yeah.
it. You won't even doubt it. And the other thing is if you're hemming and hawing about moving to that place or whatever place you wanted to go, and spirit wants you there and you're dragging your feet, spirit will do something that forces your, you know what, to get up and get moved to that place.
Yeah, I
So,
will.
yeah.
And like, you know, the energy's just opening up now. Really, the doors are opening up for us to, but we're being guided. Okay, remember this. We're in Gemini season. It just started, well, about a week ago. But that's, I think, state of awareness.
Mm-hmm.
It's all communication. It's all, and then you overthink because you got a million
Mm-hmm.
ideas flowing through your head, and you're like, okay, and then you feel behind because I haven't got any of them done. And it really, this Gemini season, we're being guided to really take our time and um, weigh out the options,
Mm-hmm.
ingest the information, give yourself some time because we have. Well, we're going to right now we have Jupiter, Venus, and the Sun. And Jupiter just expands everything. So it will also, he will also expand confusion or
Mm-hmm.
an overload of information. So it's really good. You know, the summer is a really nice summer. It's about us loving and falling in love with ourselves. My astrology teacher Christopher Witecki says it's the summer of love, but that's about falling in love with yourself and
Mm-hmm.
then being that person that you've always longed to be. Maybe you didn't even know what that looked like. I know I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I don't know what that looks like.
I didn't understand any of this about myself till the last, you know, 4 years.
No, me too.
And it changes. It's still it you know, evolves every day. It's a
Mm,
growing thing, but it's like it's things that I always thought, oh, I would like to be that, or that would be cool, or I think I have
yeah.
that in me, but I would always beat it down and say, no, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
No,
I'm not good enough. I'm not this
no,
enough. I'm not that enough. And now I'm like, you know, maybe it's just the age thing, but it's like, okay, here I am, and this is what I'm doing, and you know, I
that's
hope
it.
it's helpful to others. It's
Yeah,
making me feel good. It makes me happy. I'm coping better with the world than I would be if I didn't have all these crystals
exactly.
and all these things, all my friends and the
Mhm.
angels and the guides and everybody. You know, it's
And it's about honoring your guidance and
mhm,
listening to spirit. I know when I wasn't listening to my guidance and spirit, my life was very challenging. Let's just put it that way. Now that I mean, it's a team. We're a team effort,
mhm,
and it doesn't even. It feels so much more natural than me out there by myself trying to make things happen
yep,
and not knowing what that meant. So as we're going into this new earth and this new energy, creating our new selves, give it time. This is we haven't been here before. We've
right,
just not. We're not used to this kind of energy, and it seems very exciting. You know, like it's all the shiny things. You're like, yeah, I'll take one of each, right?
yeah,
You gotta take your time. I'm doing the same. I'm like, nope, take your time. Just keep
yeah,
looking. Take your time. Leah, is this an actual question? Am I looking at a bad or good breakup? I'm gonna say it's an actual question. Let's see. Do you want me to wait on her answer? Denise has been gathering owls feathers. Heavenly Blessed Honey says angels and I talk every day and
Yeah,
we work
that's the way to
on.
do it. If you look at them like, treat them like you would want to be treated. Do you want to have a friend that waits until the last minute and they're in dire emergency? Stop everything and come and help me right now, even though I never speak to you, for months on end. But I will expect you to be there at my demand when I'm having a crisis. I talk to them before I even get out of bed in the morning. I incorporate them in my day, whether I'm cooking or creating videos. I have most fun creating these videos because I go, okay, spirit, cue it up for me. Show me what, and they bring me the most amazing things that I could never find on my own. So that's how I incorporate them in my day. If
Absolutely.
it's out with gardening, talk to spirit, and, it helps you get more in touch with your plants and enjoy having your hands in the dirt. Here's the love train came by right now. So there you go.
Ah, there's the love train. Awesome. That is awesome.
But find ways, and if you find
I
some that
love
makes you
hearing
happy, if you get in that joyful state, milk it for every ounce that you can. Stay in that as long as you can and push away things. Like I'm starting to get where even if I tune into a little bit of the news, I'm getting like physically nauseous, like
me too.
really nauseous, almost to the
Mm,
point of I can't even watch it. It's making me literally sick, and I just have to turn it off and go, I can't be in that energy. And
yeah,
that's
because
okay.
yeah, and really, I mean, for me, it was my whole life, but it was really heavy. I'd say these last 2 years, that unworthiness would come in
Yeah.
and flatten me. And like, who do you think you're doing? And my team would just be right here, talking about it. Just keep working through your ego.
Yeah.
What the heart is in charge is how they explain it to me. The ego works for the heart. So when your
Yeah.
ego wants to sit there and hold you back, you ask the heart, and the heart's quiet, right? That's not as loud as the ego. You just take a few minutes and go inside, and and the answer will be there. The answer is always there if we calm down. Hi, Angela. Angela's here. Joyful Journey. I got you on here. I have Randy. I'm sorry, somebody else was up here with Randy. Forgive me on this. Denise McMillan, we have you also. First, we're going to read on Leah. If her, what was it?
I got some. If her breakup was going to be good or bad, I
Yeah,
got some
go ahead.
cards for her that.
Okay,
Let's
go
see.
ahead.
So I got back to the Whispers of Lord Ganesha deck. I got the card of protection. So
Mm,
they're saying no matter what happens, you are protected, and know that when, if you're feeling like you're going into something really difficult, know that you're protected. Know they're with you. Call them in, call your guides in, and ask them to mitigate anything that might be, extra emotional for you. Because it's not just worrying. Protection doesn't just mean that somebody's being physically hurt. There's words can really damage people too. So, put your armor on, pull up them big girl panties and put on a coat of armor and say before you even enter that situation. And what I find helpful with things like that is, okay, say it's 20 years from now when I want to look back and play out with that drama, whatever happened as a movie. What would I have wanted to say in response? Like, think of possible things that might be being said to you, and
scenario.
think of a response that uses the least amount of words and has no hooks in it. You're not lashing out at someone. You're not saying, but you did. Just, this is how you can clean up karma and not take that karma with you forward into the next whatever relationship, even the
Right.
relationship with yourself. And the next card I got was wholeness. So after however this turns out, you are going to be whole again. Okay, you're
Mhm.
going to rediscover who you are just for you on your own, and not giving your energy away with another being. And then the last card, I mean, how much better does it get than this, Leah? It's joy. So
Ah,
even if it's a challenge, the actual breakup process is not ever fun. But just know that once you get through it and you work through the emotions and all that about it, there is joy at the end of this. So I think those are really wonderful cards for you. I wish you
I,
well with your situation.
yeah, and I agree with Juno. A lot of times too, with your team, I call in my team and whoever the other is that I might be having an issue with, or even
Mm-hmm.
if it's a good thing, calling
Mm-hmm.
both teams. What's
Yeah.
the highest, best next step for this situation? And it really helps. It's like the answers just kind of flow into you. Something about this is transforming. I do have transforming, shedding old habits, toxic people, trust issues, and you're having a spiritual awakening. Then I got distant thunder, um, clear the air. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I was bring in both teams to talk,
Mm-hmm.
and then choosing your path all as possible. So I still think you have a lot of input into the way that this unfolds
Mm-hmm.
by speaking that into.
Yeah, you have more power than you realize in this situation. It's just a matter of stepping into it and owning it. And the power doesn't mean you're going to prove you're right. It isn't that. It's that you have the power to zip it. You know, don't say stuff that doesn't need to be said, because it just adds hooks, and it makes it worse down the road. So it doesn't mean don't speak your piece if you really feel you need to make your point. But if you make your point, but don't be attached to how they respond to you making your point. Because if
Mhm.
you make your point and then that just flares up even more, or you don't like how they respond, you've set yourself up for that. So kind
Yeah.
of like a chess game. See a few stages ahead and just say, these are the few words I will say. And sometimes you can just you can limit things to something really simple, like, okay, now I see what you think of me, and
Mm.
that just puts it's like, oh, you're not saying what that is. You're not giving it any power. You're just saying you recognize it.
Mhm.
You're not judging it, and time to move forward.
Right. And the thing is, there, well, spiritual awakenings have been going on probably our whole lives, but this year here, um, a lot of people who don't seem to be connected to their heart and soul are going to be, and there's
Mhm.
a huge wake up going. And I don't know. I try to think back to when that was happening to me and how confused and
Mhm.
unsure I was of everything, and take that into consideration. I don't know why that's coming in, but that is,
Yeah, and allow yourself to feel, and you'll go through a range of emotions, even if you know it's the right thing, for the best thing for you to do is
right.
to sever a relationship. You're still going to have feelings about it, and that's okay. You work through those, and you allow those, and just don't let them take over. And you know, put yourself first for a change. Allow yourself to be in
Mm,
charge of your own life.
yeah, because that's the only person we have power over is our.
Exactly.
There's,
Exactly.
everybody else is it, an equal. Well, I don't want to say should, but that's the optimal
Hmm.
idea, is that we're at an equal playing field, right? And some people do want power over others, and
Hmm.
that's
And
not
some
the way
people
forward.
relinquish their power too easily and then wonder why they have no power. Yeah,
Right.
I have done that many, many, many years.
Hmm.
And then you're the victim, and then it's like that isn't how it works really. If we all come in with the same, and believe me, I have hurdles and challenges and whatever, just as much as everybody else. But it's an inside job. A lot of this, it's what we tell
Oh my,
ourselves.
that's perfect, Juno. I mean, that's actually the truth. It is all an inside job. And your spirit team, and they're inside of us too. And they're,
Yeah, well, they're
like
part
Jane
of
said,
us.
floating around us,
Yeah,
but they're definitely connected to us. All right, Randy, may I get a card from my guides, please? And thank you.
sure, Randy.
Randy, journey by moonlight, believe in magic.
Ooh.
I'm hearing something about the full moon. You're going to have more clarity about something. And valiant courage. Take action with passion. When that, whatever that action is that is coming up, it's gonna really feel good to you. You're gonna want to go do this thing, right? Or go this place or whatever it is. Randy's an adventurous spirit.
Yes. Let's see what we've got. Ooh, well, very nice. Back to I love this Whispers of Lord Ganesha deck. The first card is determination. So
Hmm.
whatever maybe if you're facing a challenge or something, just, you know, put your shoulder into it, so they, so to speak, little elbow grease, give it the determination. And the determination doesn't necessarily mean efforting. You can determine something without actually, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you can set it in your mind. It doesn't mean you have to go and lift something in order to physically lift it to do it. Sometimes you can, call the guy, like when I moved here and in the middle of the worst of the pandemic, and, there were still no vaccines. It was still under lockdown, and I was moving an hour away, and I was all by myself, and I had this U-Haul lined up, and I can't load the U-Haul. I can't drive the U-Haul. I'm not physically able to do those things. It was a big truck, and the next door neighbors that were supposed to help me the day before, they came down with COVID. And I had nobody to help me, and I didn't know anybody. And the guy next door that I'd only said hello to once, he'd only lived there for a few months, he did everything. He loaded the truck, he unloaded the truck, he drove the truck, back to, he did it all. So you don't know when and where this miraculous thing is going to come from. But I was just like, at the last minute, okay, angels, you've helped me get this far, and I've got this place to go, and blah, blah, blah. And now I got no freaking way to get there. Are you kidding me? I said, no, I didn't do that. I said, I know I'll find a way. This will show up. And it was like almost instantaneous that this happened. And it was an absolute miracle. And he would not accept a penny from me either.
Oh. Man.
And I had a truckload. And I had heavy stuff. It wasn't just, here's a couple of boxes. Keep in mind, I have crystals, and I have notebooks, and I have heavy stuff to move. Just amazing. So you never know where if you really believe, and this is not like, just have faith. I'm not talking about the holy roller kind of thing. It's that knowing inside yourself. And you have created that relationship with your guides and your angels, that they're there for you. And it takes time. It's just like when you meet a new mate, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be. It takes time to get to know them and feel like, okay, I can trust them, or we really understand each other, or they're really there for me. But once they've been there for you a few times like that, then that they're always there for you. It's not just, you punched your ticket, that's it, you're out, next. It doesn't work that way. They're there for you. And then the other card I just want to show was delight. So when you have some determination, you will find delight, and that can also be the light, delight, find delight.
Randy's an Aries, so when you pulled up that fiery Ganesha, I was like, that's her.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
You're on fire. You're all fired up. That's another thing that came to me, this being on fire. And because people have said to me lately, because my channel, I'm doing a lot, and they say you're on fire. Well, as someone who was told that in past lives I was burned at the stake, I started thinking, well, maybe I don't want to be on fire. Maybe it's better to say I'm fired up.
Yes.
So that elevates it. And I'm not criticizing whoever said it. I'm not saying it that way, but it just gave me, that was another one for me to work on, rather than saying I'm on fire, and I've been burned out of my home before too. So I don't really want to be on fire, but I like being fired up for something. So there's another way that I just tweaked a little phrase in my own life. So
empowering words.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, Denise, could I please get a card? Of course. Heavenly takes salt baths, and yes, Teresa Ford, we very well could be healing the collective as well as ourselves when we sleep.
Totally.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it takes energy to sleep. That's another thing. If you think, well, I'll sleep better if I just drive myself till I drop, I literally just drop into bed. I don't even have energy to roll over. You're not doing yourself any favors. And another thing I learned in Jin Shin Jitsu was even staying up. Now, I'm not making a judgment. I'm just saying what I learned in Jin Shin Jitsu is because some people have to work night shift or are night owls. But every minute you stay awake after midnight is harder and harder on your system, because your energy, your organ flows start at midnight. So if you can go to bed by 11:59, you can help forestall some of that. So look at the things that you're doing. How can you mitigate or soften the feelings of fatigue that you're having? Look at what are you doing to yourself that's bringing on that fatigue. Some things we can't change. I realize that. I was a single mom with a lot of health issues. So I had to work a full-time job. So I know what it's like to just be, I don't have time to think about myself, you know, I can't. And another thing I was talking about, I saw one of the comments about hardest thing to do is to be gentle with ourselves. Um, I've been dealing with fibromyalgia since I was 3, and it's like all over pain. And it feels like it came to me as I was healing through this 40 years later that a lot of it was caused by my thoughts, because my thoughts, I hated myself so much. I was slicing myself to shreds with my thoughts constantly. So no wonder I felt it in my body that way. I was just decimating myself. I'm not good enough. I'm this, I'm that, you know. And you know what? When I stopped doing that, I'm not a holy roller. I'm healed and everything's great, but I can cope with things a lot better. I'm much more realistic in what I expect from myself. And you know, I've had to adjust my life to be more of a hermit. Well, you know, there are positives to that. I don't have to pick up somebody else's underwear. I don't have to do their dishes. You know, I don't have to wonder what their mood is. But it's nice to. Some people are more people. You know, it's all you can take what circumstances you're in and find the best and highest good to work with what you've got there. And anyway.
And oh goodness, what you just said was so important. The fibromyalgia, talking terrible to yourself. That was me my whole life.
Yeah.
It didn't hit me though until well, at age 50, I broke down. Everything just fell apart. And I thought, this is a joke, right? This has got to be a joke. And no, it wasn't. It was 12 years later. And I was like, oh, well, now it's 12 years later. Oh my God. But it was a long time. Denise, I got this card for you twice. In the flow, everything is smooth sailing.
Ooh.
And you got a refuge. Okay, you got refuge here. Are you taking a little vacation, maybe to the sea? I don't know why that just came in. A retreat. If not, this is about protecting your heart and giving yourself a safe haven. And then I got crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. So everything is smooth sailing, and and this is another thing. Well, this is the summer of love. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Self love, self care. Really give yourself the nurturing and the healing. I hope that helps you, Denise. Let me see if she said anything.
I pulled for Denise, be candid. Love the
Oh,
color, the turquoise color of this card. So
yeah.
is there something that, you know, if there's something that you need to say, you can be candid, and being candid doesn't mean just shoot your mouth off. Being candid means, you know, speak your truth.
From your
You
heart.
know, but keep it in perspective.
Mhm.
It's okay to speak up about something. And the other card I got was relaxation. Right along, you know, it's like they're listening to us. How important it is to relax. Look at that.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. So take some
Ah,
time out, speak your piece, and then go take a nap.
and she said she needs to listen to this. I haven't learned to love myself. I'm really working on that.
Yeah.
Oh,
We all are. It's
we all are. You know, once you get to a certain level, because I didn't even know that was a thing. You know, what do you mean I have to love myself? You know,
yeah.
and then want me to do, and I was just thinking, well, who doesn't? You know, I guess I'm okay. And then they said, really, and drilled down into it to where that's where I figured I didn't. So,
Yeah.
um, how do you do that? Every moment, you know, I was putting my hand on my heart and saying,
Yeah.
I love you. And it felt weird at first. It took me a long time to say I love you without it feeling stupid. Really,
Yeah.
that's how I felt.
Yeah. Like, how
And
dare I say that to myself? That's
yes,
too, that is the, you know, too
and then start.
egotistical to say that, you know,
Yeah,
it's improper, or
that's
yeah.
what we were all taught, right? You
Yeah.
have to be the caregiver, not
Yeah.
cared for.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. May I have another, you know?
yeah,
It's
that's
pile it
where
on.
we are, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. I choose me. And it doesn't mean you have to be rude to anybody else or mean to
No.
anybody else, but focusing on what you prefer in the moment, your wish in the moment, your
Yeah.
desire, your choice. and keep going, keep going. Oh, my, what's this? I'm gonna head off for summer break out of school, and so I plan on this. Thank you so very much.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Keep us
cool.
posted, Denise. You know,
Yeah.
we all support you, and you know, we'll just send out mass protection to everybody, and
Uh,
just
with
a
the
bubble for
dragon,
everybody. Like
I
what
just
I loved what Debbie was saying about the bubble. Was it Debbie Diamond? Is that her name?
absolutely the
About
bubble.
the bubble.
Up
Put the
here,
bubble on before you go out. I do
the
it before I even
bubble.
leave my house, you know.
Yeah, me
And if
too.
I get to the store and I put another bubble on, you
Right.
know, and it works. It really, really
Does
works.
it really does? It's the first thing I do in the morning. I put bubbles on me, my house, my cats, my kids, the cars, and depending on where I go, like Gina
Yeah,
said, I'll layer on bubbles. And lately, if
yeah.
this helps you, because I see rainbows everywhere. It's an iridescent rainbow bubble, like when you're blowing bubbles, those kind of bubbles.
Yeah.
So,
And if you
but
see somebody coming that maybe you don't want to interact with them, but you maybe you know them, maybe you don't like their energy, put a bubble around them. Keep them in their own bubble. You
oh my
know,
God, absolutely.
you don't just have to be, you know, I'm in my bubble, but I'm a victim to everybody else, you know.
No.
Put them all in bubbles.
hmm In fact, I notice when I put people in pink plasma bubbles of love, they just immediately relax.
Yeah.
And it's very and I'll say in my head, can we do this quick? Can this be nice and easy,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And it's just in every moment where we teach ourselves, how do I want my next moment to feel?
Yeah.
What does that mean to me? Um, how important you are, Denise, to you. I
Yeah.
mean, if we're not doing it, no one else is going to come in and do
Yeah.
it.
No, it's not anyone else's job to do it for us either. And you know, it's our responsibility. Like I dealt with depression for most of my life, and
Yes.
I realized that this is me talking to me. Okay, this is not me judging anybody or making any opinions about somebody else. But how I looked at it was, if I'm constantly needing reassurance, if I'm constantly needing help to get out of a depression or a this or a that, doesn't mean I don't ever reach out to people. But if I'm so dependent on that, I can't do it for myself. All I'm doing is being a drag on the universal energy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not doing my part. And
Right.
it's that's where the ego comes in, that it's like, well, I'm down here, I'm just waiting for somebody to fix me, and then I'm mad because you won't, so I'm just going to sit here and pout and drag the energy down. Oh, woe is me. You know, rather, instead of going, you know, always look on the bright side of life, or you know, anything that you can do to shift that. You're going to have moments where I have moments where I feel like that, but
Absolutely.
they
Still
don't
do.
last. You know, they're
Mm-mm.
temporary. You focus on, okay, tomorrow I'll do better. I will feel better tomorrow. Another thing I do, that because I'm in constant pain, and sometimes it's worse than others, as I learn to tell myself I'm in discomfort. Sometimes it's pain, but you know, sometimes if I just say it's in discomfort, I can cope with it better. Does it totally go
Mm.
away? No, but it ratchets down the level enough so that it's manageable for me.
Yeah, Sharon, I mean, that the loving yourself piece was a game changer for my entire life, changed my entire life.
Yep.
And I now I'm aware of it, and I know I can do that without feeling like I'm egotistical. I don't go around, it's just decent, like you love your kid or you love your cat. It's no different.
It's like we've been trained to think that's a dirty word to say we love
Right.
ourselves. It's something obscene or whatever, and it isn't. It's we should, if we were all loving ourselves, we wouldn't all be, there wouldn't be wars and all this other stuff. We would
Exactly.
understand, you know.
Yeah, we would. That's true. I'm with you on there, Lori Hunsinger.
Yeah.
This is a new summer of love I've been waiting for since the last one. I keep choking about getting stoned and missing the opportunity. I'm right there with you, but we're not going to miss the opportunity. I got that. We're here. And a joyful journey is next on a card. Where does she go? Here we go. What does my team want me to do next in my spiritual journey? Got you. All right. Let's see.
Well, I've been putting a lot of on my mindless videos. I've been using a lot of music from the '60s and the early '70s, and it's
Mhm.
it takes us back to that time, and the I try to match up the visual with the audio, to kind of get like the Peter Max kind of artwork, or the different kind of things, flower powery kind of stuff, just to kind of bring back that summer love energy.
They wanted me to pick a dragon card for all of us, and I got the fire water dragon. And it says, enables your life to flow with loving force. Pretty interesting. Prepare for change and to move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected. Have fun. Uranus and Mercury. And that loving force is us. It's all around us. It's spirit. Once you, and I'm not trying to say it like that. Once we all feel that, we all know that is our core essence, your whole life changes. My whole life totally flipped. Entirely new life. Juno. Yeah.
It does. And it starts with little things. You work at these little tiny incremental things, like today I was kind to myself, or I didn't beat myself up, or whatever it was, with little things. And then next thing you know, you look back and you go, wow, life is easier, or I'm coping better with things now. You look back and say, wow, I was really struggling back then. I'm so grateful that I've made it this far. Take it in the steps. We don't go up. There's a reason why there's steps in a house or whatever. It's a stair step. You go up one step at a time. You don't just shoot right up. That's not the way humans work. It's not at this point in time.
We're gonna be floating around in our Merkabas, talking telepathically someday.
Yeah. But these human bodies, you know what I mean? These dense things we walk around and still need the stairs. At least mine does.
Right now. Oh my God, I got too many stairs. All right, joyful journey, traveling lightly, simplify your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got ascending the mountain, keep going forward.
Ooh.
So it's kind of like what we're doing, right? We're on this path, and we keep going around the path, going towards the light, going towards, what they just said, follow your heart. Your heart won't steer you wrong. If we're following our heart, we can't get lost. We don't even get frustrated. Maybe, yeah, sometimes, but it's not as bad as it. Man, I was terrible on myself before. And I know Juno was too. But
following your Ginsu queen, the Ginsu queen of slicing myself to shreds. Oh, you don't need to put me down. I've got a better one than that. You know what I mean? I don't need your help. I can do a real good job of that myself. Thank you very much. And then wondered why I was so miserable. So what I pulled for Joyful Journey is energetic movement. Love this card. Look at Nesha dancing there. So, maybe we want to get out and actually physically move and do some dancing, or go out and walk in nature, or just do some in-place exercises. Get on your exercise bike, or some yoga stretches or something. This can also be energetic movement, like, moving energy, doing Jinshinjutsu self-help, or anything, doing Reiki or anything like that, where you're, that's still energy movement. And in Jinshinjutsu, one of the ways, if you're stuck in a sedentary position, you're wheelchair bound, or on an airplane or a bus or something where you can't get up, sit on your hands, palms up or palm down. This replicates exercise in an energetic way through your body, through your entire body. So there are no reasons why everybody here can do energetic movement. Everybody can do that.
Sit on your hands. That's what I'm doing.
Yep. But you're aiming at your sit bones, that bone part of the pelvis. So, and you can have hands up or hands down, and that is the equivalent of the Knight of Wands, the movement of the Knight of Wands. So here, and then the next card we got is generosity. So be generous with yourself. This to me is this message of self. It's a change. It's time for you to take care of you. Be generous with you, even if it's just with your thoughts and your words with yourself. Treat yourself to some little, if you like pedicures, or you want to go buy some chocolate, or considering health, whatever is good for you health wise. Do something nice. Be generous with yourself, because then you help expand that generosity out into the world. And it doesn't have to be a huge thing, it can be donating stuff to some place, or but you can also do nice things for yourself in little ways.
It's
Or big.
summertime, right? It's summertime. We got to do those little things that be in the sun. The sun is really important. The sun is changing. It's all plasma coming in, and as those solar flares come off, right? A lot of people want to be afraid of that, but that plasma light comes in and it dissipates what's not staying with you and elevates what is the rest of you with light codes.
Yeah.
And it's so important.
And you
And I
just
thought,
ask for your body, you know, your system to be able to process this new energy with ease and grace. You know, that you will be able to release things with ease and accept new things with grace.
oh, that's probably one of the best statements that gets me through a lot. Anything I'm asking for or talking about with my team, I always say, please, in grace and ease. Before I knew that, I kind of did it the hard way, and it was very painful.
Oh yeah, it gets a lot of. Yeah, my forehead was just as flat as a, you know, bang, bang, bang. I said, that's not the way to do this. There's another way.
There's another way. And some about learning new skills, your talents, studying, practicing. It's important. Whatever that is for you that you want to learn, there's a lot of nice classes coming out in our community. Definitely. Was it Val and Allie are doing a medium class? It's like I think it's 3 or 4 days. I'm not sure. But stuff like that really helps. If you've taken Val's Akashic Records master's class or the manifestation class, both excellent and so affordable. It's so helpful, you know, because all these classes really help you look at life differently. I didn't know any of that until I experienced it with these classes.
And some people, if you're really in dire straits and you don't have the money for a class, ask the teacher if they're offering any scholarships, because sometimes, more often than not, they, you know, either they're able to just gift it to you, or sometimes there's people who pay forward. They will, you know, gift like an anonymous scholarship to somebody. So don't be afraid to ask. I mean, that's how I was able to do a lot of the things, even a lot of the Jin Shin Jitsu training, is I qualified for scholarships for 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And that's how I got to where I was, because those classes were more than a month's income for me. So, you know, you find a way. You find a way.
Yeah, and there's so many healer classes and, you know, psychic development classes, and it's important, right? They all layer on top of each other.
Exactly.
And you just grow so much. Erin got an application for a coffee shop. Does her team like that job prospect for her? There's Erin's team. My pendulum is saying yes. Still going to pick a card for you, Erin. Sorry, I didn't see your question earlier.
And anybody out there, I know it seems like forever and you're probably tired of this record. I'm still dealing with technical issues. I spent all day yesterday dealing with Canva to iron out something that was happening, because when that doesn't work, I can't make any new videos. I can't do any. I'm dead in the water. So it's been a process. I'm hoping by next week everything will be all hunky-dory. But, you know, I've said that before, and then it's, oh, whack-a-mole. You got that one. Oh, now here's another one. Let's figure this out. You know. But
the internet,
and watch my community page, because I post things on my community page to let you know how things are going or whatever. It's hard for me to contact everybody individually, but please know I have not forgotten you, and I'm just dancing as fast as I can. So please bear with me. Getting closer every day.
It has been a struggle with the internet. You know, a lot of times things got to be worked out behind the scenes on the team's end, and it comes in to you in a different way. I'm getting possibility. What'd you get? Do you know?
Well, I got the Two of Keys. This is the Akashic Tarot, and it says the Treasure. So that looks like a positive kind of card. And then the second one that I got is the Muse. So to me, the Muse is, you know, your inspiration and things like that. So, I mean, that's a positive kind of card. That's if that's a kind of job that you would like, I think that it would all go well for you.
There it is. I got infinite abundance for you, which I
Oh,
thought was weird.
wow.
Abundance is pouring into your life. This is time. This is your time, Aaron. Like
Pouring
that.
into your life like coffee.
Yeah, I love it. Oh my God, I love it. Oh goodness, Aaron, your chart is really being lit up right now on those 29 degrees. I mean, you can put it out there, but the most. Okay, this is what they are asking me to say to everybody. Go in your heart. What's your biggest wish? There's no limitations. There's no money. There's no money problems. There's no space and time problems. There's no vehicle problems. And say it, write it down, and honestly, you will see that start to unfold for all of us. We are in this new energy now. But we have to believe it's true. We have to
You have to
believe that.
allow it. There's a lot of allowing too, like not like dropping your resistance of saying, oh, I can't, I'm not worthy, or that'll never happen for me, or, it's just impossible. I can't even imagine that. Don't, this is the time to really grow your imagination, feed that imagination, work with that imagination, because that's how you get more and more in touch on the spiritual level too. Let your imaginary flag fly.
Yeah.
I say that 3 times fast.
I mean, and we're the only ones who are doing it. Like Juno said, it is us doing it. And if we say, okay, well, and I'm not saying the coffee job isn't good enough. I'm just saying to you, if you have something, a bigger dream, say that too while you're doing the coffee job.
Right. And maybe the coffee job gets you, a stabilization or something you need before the next opportunity comes. It's better to keep moving and have, keep the energy flowing than to be stagnant. Don't be a fountain, or don't be a reservoir, be a fountain. Keep that energy moving.
Yes. That's awesome, Heavenly blessed honey.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. And
Wait,
at first you're going to feel like they're not listening, or I'm just crazy. I'm talking to myself. And then as you keep doing that, they keep showing up. And then, I mean, they've answered questions for me before I even got the question out of my mouth. They physically manifested things that I wanted, that I didn't even know I wanted till 2 seconds before they showed it to me. It was really amazing. So it does work. Yeah.
Oh, I love that, Silver Star Priestess, right? And all of us choose to honor ourselves. Yourself.
We're all goddesses, all us, even the men. We've all got that god and goddess energy, and we all have the male and female. So, and there's so much talk about balance, and to me, balance is we think of balance. We want things 50-50. We want, and that's not realistic. I look for harmony. And harmony might be like this. You look at what are harmony musical notes. When someone's singing in harmony, they're not all singing the same note. They're singing different levels, right? But together it makes a harmony. It makes a beautiful creation from that. So
I know it's kind of weird stepping out there now, but this is truly the time. We are guided, guarded, protected. We truly are. It is us creating this new world. It starts with our individual selves first. That's the hardest thing to do, is be gentle with ourselves. I treat myself so unkindly. That's right. We would never do that to another.
I have a picture of Robin Williams he's an older, he's got a beard. He looks like Ulysses S. Grant in this picture. And the caption says, be kind to the unkind. They need it the most. And be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, because if you're not kind to yourself, you're not expressing, it's like your kindness muscle. How well is it working if you can't even be kind to yourself? It's not genuine then if you're kind to others. It starts with yourself. It starts with all, each of us individually. And then we can see the kindness in others, and we can see, a lot of times when you look at somebody who's really stressed or really angry or whatever, understand they're hurting. It doesn't mean get drawn into them. It doesn't mean allow them to do whatever. It's just a level of understanding. And so that helps you to stay out of the judgment part. It helps you, not getting hooks into that situation somehow that might drag you into it. Bloody, bloody, blah.
Gwen Curry, are you still here? We will read for you. There's like what Silver Star Priestess says here. It does start in childhood.
Yeah,
We don't
I
even
started at
know
age
it.
3. Yeah. It
We
took me
don't
till I
know.
was 40 to be diagnosed, but it was, yeah.
Mhm.
And then I
Thank
got
you.
parvovirus. I got something called fifth disease, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth disease. And then I found out when I went to a retinologist looking in my eyes about 10 years ago, and he said, oh, that's a form of parvovirus. That's very hard on the system. So between having mono and then parvo, it was like
Mm.
whammy, whammy. But, you know, you learn to, you learn to cope and deal with things and keep doing what you can do. Don't compare yourself to say what I could do when I was younger or what someone else can do at my age or whatever. Do what you can do. Do the best you can do, and when you've done your due diligence or your daily work or whatever it is however you want to word it, then go rest and enjoy the rest and savor that rest. You know, it's
Absolutely.
a treasure. It's a gift to be able to just rest, just allow. And then another thing that Mary would say when we exhale, Mary Burmeister would say, when you exhale, drop your shoulders. It makes such a big difference. Don't be Larry King with all stressed out. I got my shoulders up at my, at my
Yeah.
ears. Drop your shoulders and you really release a lot of that. And you also release the diaphragm. It really helps your heart.
And you can feel it like rolling off. Like I could feel water just rolling off me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just goes down into Mother Earth and
Oh,
takes
I
all
know.
the stuff that
Yeah. Like water
wasn't.
off a duck's back. It's just,
Yeah. See, Erin, she says, I'm chicken to do new stuff, but I'm telling myself to try it. And
yeah.
and once you step that first step, and this is another thing Juno said that was really good. Stand up and go left foot first.
Yeah.
It flips things for you. Especially in fear, especially if you're really
Yeah.
upset. And and then not only that, once we do anything, it does just a little, even if we speak it into existence or write it, as soon as we do, the universe opens another door for us.
That's right.
And then we go, and then it just goes boom, boom, boom. It's
That's right.
us, but we have the free will, so we have to put that left foot first, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Dare to shake it up a little bit. Shake up your energy,
mhm.
Um, and like I said, don't if we start our day knowing anything could happen today, instead of it being, oh, this is going to happen or that's going to happen, look at it as an opportunity. And I draw positive experiences to myself, and then I ask the angels, okay, if I know I'm facing something, or maybe something unexpected might come up that is
Mhm.
difficult for me, I just ask, can you mitigate it for me? Can you step in between and make this as easy as possible on me and everyone involved? Not just you. Ask for the whole situation, all the people involved in that situation, even if you don't like them,
Absolutely. In
because
fact,
this
yeah.
benefits you. It makes it easier on you in the long run. So you're not giving away anything by asking for them to also have an easier time of it.
I love what you're writing, Joyful Journey. I'm going to put it up, but I went to look for the last question, and now I can't find it. I don't know which way.
You're very welcome, Denise. We're happy you're here.
There it is, Jenny Curry. Yes, thank you, Denise.
Gwen,
Gwen
Gwen,
Curry. I don't know
Gwen.
what.
I love that
Jenny.
name, Gwen. Yeah.
Jenny's right below you. I'm sorry. I said Jenny Curry. Oh my goodness.
Beautiful.
Gwen, absolutely. Everybody is just so beautiful. Thank you all for coming and hanging out. Um,
And this is not like the path of the spiritual seeker is not a straight line. It's a spiral, if nothing else, but there you go. There you go. Yeah.
there's Joyful
And
Journey.
tears. And if you have a lot of tears and fears, hold your index finger for tears and fears.
Index finger.
Hold the index finger. That can really harmonize that.
It's true,
Oh,
Joyful Journey. It doesn't feel like we have the permission, but we're the ones who give it to ourselves, and
that's
we
right.
can definitely move forward. You give one step, and Spirit comes in and gives you the next step. It's really cool. Yes, she's signing up for Val's course. That's amazing. Yeah, that's a good course. Those are good courses. Oh, right, Gwen. Ooh, Gates of Triumph. Gates of Triumph. Success expands in your life.
Ooh.
Ooh, and transformation. Love this card. Fresh new way of living emerges.
Well, those two go together beautifully.
Yes, they do. And they told me to pick the next one. It says, begin now. Take your first step. We're just talking
Wow.
about. You can't
Wow.
make it up. You really can't make it up.
Yeah, spiritual quest.
Oh, geez, Gwen.
And look at, you got an umbrella. You're protected. You
Yes.
got that extra layer of protection on your spiritual quest. You got everything you need right there. And then the other card I got was achievement. I mean, just beautiful cards to go together. Spiritual
Yeah.
quest and achievement.
Yeah.
So you will achieve, in a spiritual journey, it's one step at a time.
Yeah.
And you don't, you don't you're not going to fall off the cliff on your spiritual journey. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You might have some ups and downs, but you're always going to be supported.
Yeah. And it's as we're the front lines, right? We're the way showers now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're stepping out because this whole new earth is got to, the old earth, the things that were life negating in that earth have to
Mm-hmm.
fall away as they're being restructured and rebuilt in the new earth. And we're the ones that are doing that. So, I mean, if it, could be anything. It could be wanting to volunteer at your kid's school or at the
Or an
animal
animal
shelter.
shelter.
Yeah, we were just both said that. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Or reading to elderly people, or, being a
Yeah.
companion, play cards with them once a week or something. There's a lot of ways, little ways. And then before you know it, you've got a whole new network of friends that you didn't have before.
Yeah. I know. I'm getting ready to step outside. I got to work through my leaving the house thing. I keep working through it, but
It's a process. But
the
I have
process.
the same issue. I very rarely go out. I go out on a Sunday morning at 6 o'clock, or, when there's fewest people around. But, I was like that before COVID, and it just is even more. It's like now COVID gave me an excuse to really embrace my
Yeah, let me say
my
that.
hermithood.
Yeah,
I call myself a termit. I'm a tarot hermit,
it's hermit.
not a
I
termite.
love
I'm a hermit. There's no E on the end.
it. I love
But,
it. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Juno, for coming and hanging
oh,
out.
my pleasure. Thanks for having me. I always love spending time with you, Val. And I appreciate all our friends here. And thanks for coming. And I'm going to be on my next show. I'm on with Terry Renner on the 4th, and I'm on with Allie on the 5th. I'm not sure the times off the top of my head. And then I'm on with John Binney on the 12th, and I'm just over the moon over there. I'm excited about all of them, but
Nice.
yeah. So
Juno,
keep
that.
watching. And I'm going to be
Oh,
doing new stuff with crystals and stuff. So stay tuned for that. That, once I get the tech thing, it's that one last piece of the puzzle. Everybody send me good energy that this will be the last technological bump I have in the road for a while. That would be
well, I
great.
want to say this for 6/4. Okay, 6/6 is the new moon in Gemini. 6/4 is when the sun and Venus are conjunct. Where's Kazemi? Venus is Kazemi, the sun. She's getting her new instructions for the next part of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day we have Jupiter and Mercury together. Oh, is it Mercury? Oh my goodness, I can't remember. I don't want to say that one, but I know there's two big things going on, and this is for us. This is like because I look at the chart and everything's saying, okay, this is when we go forward. This is when we do
Mm-hmm.
this. This is truly when we go forward. This new moon, and it's in Gemini. It's in your brilliance. Bring it, speak it into life, speak it into existence. You got this. We all doing it. Yes, it's scary, but we're here to hold each other's hands and
Yeah.
help each other walk home. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. But we might go around the block a few times on the way home, and that's okay too. You know.
I used to do that as a kid. Oh my god. Let me just see where I had here. Yes, it was Jupiter and Mercury. And then on the new moon, it's the sun, moon, and Venus all conjunct. I mean, it's just beautiful. This is about what you love and value. And Jupiter's right there to expand it, and Mercury's right there to
Mm-hmm.
shout it to the heavens, wherever it is you want to go. Oh,
It's the card for all of us, understanding.
oh, that is
Look at that big, beautiful
beautiful.
elephant eye.
I know it. Oh my
The
gosh.
corn is as high as an elephant's eye. Isn't that what they sang in Oklahoma?
Well, how do you say it?
The corn is as high as an elephant's eye. I think they said that in the musical
In the
Oklahoma. I think
music.
that's a line from the song. But have understanding, understand yourself, understanding the world around you, and and that you don't have to engage if there's a world out there. There's energies that you don't want to interact with. Don't interact with them. Find ways to work around it. Go around. Don't you don't have to prove you're right. Just do your own, understand yourself, and that's good enough to go forward. They'll come along. They're on their own path of understanding when their time is right.
Absolutely. All right, now I got Journey by Moonlight,
Yeah.
Believe in Magic. So, and
The message
cleansing
of the day.
water. Oh my goodness,
What's
cleansing
that one
waters.
say?
Cleansing waters, purification activates vibrant life force. And it does feel like we're, especially with the solar flares and the energy coming in.
Mhm.
Purification activates vibrant life force. Goodness. And it does. I don't know why I'm hearing myself there. So let it let it clean you off as we go into the magic. We are made of magic.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you, Juno. Thank you
Oh,
all.
thank
We
you,
love
Val.
you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for everybody
Appreciate
for
you
coming.
guys. Be safe.